We talking about SNAP benefits? You got that?
No, it's not me. I was trying to set you up though.
That wasn't my topic. That was your topic.
That was your topic.
That was your topic.
That was your topic.
All right, whatever. It might have been, but no, SNAP benefits are being pulled, and now they're Fat Dragon. Are they?
Should be
Going-
35 days.
Yeah, they're like halfway coming back now.
Huh?
No, I think they're fully cut. I think
Yeah,
the
I thought
judge
they were-
ordered them to come back with the emergency funds that they have, but Trump has just said no.
Yeah, that's what I
was
thought.
my understanding.
I thought I saw an update, but I could be wrong. But when you guys saw the initial report about SNAP benefits being cut, what was your initial response?
It's been a minute, AJ. The people want to hear from you.
That's crazy. Man, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised public help is being taken away in general. I mean, I didn't really feel too fond of it, but it didn't really hurt me. I haven't had SNAP benefits in a long time, so even though I know it affects everyday life, like somebody was bringing up facts about how like it affects the truck drivers, it affects the farmers, it affects some of these other like not only just the family aspect of things. And so when it came and put in perspective like that, I was like, damn, you got to think about it. Grocery prices will go up because the demand of all these different things, which they already going up, man, it's crazy. But so I didn't realize the magnitude of how important SNAP benefits was. And I think probably because they've been around my whole life, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I didn't have them and then now I have them. It's like I didn't realize the magnitude of it.
I think from
Add two things here.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, give them the mic. Give them the mic so we can hear you.
Some large companies tend to use it to subsidize their workers' paychecks by paying them low enough that they
They're eligible. Yeah.
are qualify for SNAP to help cover that cost. And I was incorrect. It seems that Trump put out a truth or whatever statement this morning saying he was going to completely withhold it, but they've since agreed to comply with a partial disbursement.
So Tay was right again.
Tavy on it.
Yeah, no, you good. But I ain't gonna lie, like seeing initially, even though I'm not eligible for SNAP benefits, my heart just went out to people who I know rely on that. Even in my adult years working, and there have been times where I need to go to a food bank just because I wasn't making enough money to make ends meet when I was in my younger years, and I know how much food insecurity hits people, and it's kind of sad that we're in a country right now, in a place in the country where just people aren't leading with compassion enough. And like a basic human right to be able to feed yourself should be something that everybody should be able to agree on. But instead of pointing the finger like, oh, you should be doing more. Well, motherfucker, I'm working 80 hours a week and making $5.50 an hour busting tables at this restaurant you like to come
Preach.
to.
Yep.
Yeah. When it comes to SNAP's benefits, if I'm being honest, like, unfortunately, the place I work for, because of the Trump administration, we had to stop taking OHP and things of that manner. But, we're still doing things pro bono for certain people and certain demographics. And it's kind of like, it's just like a sad place to be in this country. And it's just like that. At least I just want to say, like, people think there's this misconception of people on SNAP who are just like sitting at home playing video games and just waiting to be fed. And there's a lot of people who are working their 40, 50, 60 hours life and they're still not being able to pay rent. And there are a lot of people who are on and dealing with that are really needing the help. And it's just very sad, And it kind of just gets me to think about, shout out to all the people who are, making $20 stretch into a week, so yeah.
And shout out to all the businesses like Burgerville, for example, who are offering free food to
students on SNAP or kids who show their SNAP.
Yeah, kids that show their SNAP and other restaurants and so forth. Burgerville still pay your employees more. I'll be upset about that. But
So I know, like in California, you could buy fast food meals with like SNAP and stuff like that. So I'm curious on how, like, what they'll do in terms. But I think my biggest curiosity too is how do we as individuals recognize or allow those folks to speak? 'Cause I think we have a hard time with allowing people who are on those benefits actually speak, because there are people that take advantage of it, right? Like in every walks of life, there's gonna be on both sides of the fence, right? There's people that take advantage of it, and there's people that actually need it who don't get it, or vice versa. And so it's like, how do we actually have those conversations to where people can own up and say, I need those, or I need some aspect of that.
Yeah, I at least to say this. I want to say shout out to that Portland coffee shop.
Yeah,
that Portland coffee shop that was started the domino effect of like giving.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And then
Heretic Coffee.
there you go.
I thought that was the name of the coffee shop. I was like, oh, that's really great branding.
I was saying like
That Portland coffee shop.
that coffee shop, they earn so much money, and giving it back, and then it, was domino effect for a lot of other businesses. I want to shout out for them for being the leaders for that. Definitely W for them. And then, I want to answer your question. I don't think SNAP benefits would exist if it was primarily helping black folks.
No, we're not.
It wouldn't exist, if I'm being honest with you. If it was majorly helping people of color, it would have been eradicated years ago.
And it's crazy because there's a stigma across the country that we are the main recipients of it. And
Yeah. No diss to Andrew, but it's just like I've always, thought about that.
I wasn't
So-
saying that.
But I think
No, I'm just saying.
But no. But I think in general, right? Like a lot of the benefits that us black folks receive too as well, a lot of those benefits wouldn't exist if it wasn't for these other communities that use those benefits as well. Like free and reduced lunch, which I think has also been cut as well. Free and reduced lunch got cut. So there's like a few other benefits that was primarily, is primarily used by other communities. So I think when it comes down to that, is like we are the stigma, but we're like the last people to actually use those benefits. So it's that stereotype thing, like y'all saying. It's that big stereotype.
Now, I will say this: I did have this saved. There's this one guy in, I don't want to say love hate, but I have an interesting relationship with DL Hughley with how he's evolved his career and things of that manner. But he actually posted something I do agree with. There's this white guy, and he posted it, and he was like, "Oh, my sister just called me to ask for money, and she's on SNAP benefits, but she voted for Donald Trump." And he laughed at her, and I was like, you shouldn't laugh at people's misfortune, but he was like, you asked for this, like this is what you asked for, and you're asking me now for money. And I think for me it's just like interesting, where it's kind of like, the reason I bring this up is like, I think so many times people vote against their own interests, self-interest, and it's just like very interesting that you're losing the benefits that you thought that the immigrants were taking away from you, and like literally in 2 to 3 months you lost the thing that was helping you keep afloat, and now you're asking your brother. But
Yeah. It's weird. That's just a touchy subject for me because, while I do agree, certain people's political decisions last November maybe question their intellect. But when it comes to like housing security, food insecurity, like that's something where I feel like I have to be kind of bipartisan and like look past, whatever your decision may be, and just like, all right, are you as a human? As long as you're not doing or saying anything that directly attacks me or, my community.
no,
Yeah.
I also think that's the battle with politics that people truly don't understand. Is like people are spitting a lot of times faulty on both sides of the coin, to get you to pick them. And when you do, a lot of times you still lose out on what you want, on the things that you agreed on, unless you're in their pocket or right next to them. Most of the time they're not worried about the normal everyday person that's in the community and on the street. They're not worried about you. They worried about Big Pharma, Walmart. They worried about the people
Everybody they're gonna see at the country club.
Man,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The homeboys at the country club they gonna go golfing with. That's who they worried about. They're not worried about us.
at the NFL game.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Robert
Where,
Kraft.
Boy, I was just about to say Robert Kraft.
but I think
Bro,
I
you
think
about to though.
getting to that point is like that's why we have to be more deliberate in the politics aspect of like actually know who you voting for,
Facts. know
know what they actually stand on, even though as they get bigger in like politics, a lot of times they change direction anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you stay grounded within yourself to figure out the things that you need in a part of life? So
And this is the last thing I'll say before, you know, obviously we go to commercial break and move on to the last phase of the episode.
Wrong hand.
When it comes to
you getting used to it or something?
when it comes to what's going on right now with the government shutdown, when it comes to even what's going on with the air traffic controllers, like it's like for me, it's just like it's very sad. If I'm being honest with you, where like you know, I just went on a crazy trip and I was able to see the benefits of people thinking collectively for each other. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I love the individual aspect of what America brings, but like I would love to see what it looks like if we could just really just focus on making it good for each other, even if you don't know that person. And I just feel like they're so hard here because in America it's like a melting pot, and like I may not look like you, but I can still feel like you. So it's just kind of like very, like, you know, very interesting. And I just hope we get to a part in America where we can actually just look out for each other. So at the end of the day, I at least just say this: shout out to you know, all the air traffic controllers, you know, people doing what you can, you know, business doing what you're doing. Like, we see you, appreciate you. So
I'm gonna have to disagree with you when it comes to understanding what America stands for, who it is. And I think you have to look at the history and the culture of what America is, right? Like, you traveled, you went to Japan. I don't know where you've traveled to. I know you've traveled. You be out. But when you go to some of these other places, there's a baseline culture there, right? There's a baseline, there's a foundation that you walk into, whatever. Doesn't matter what's on social media, doesn't matter what's going on about the day. They have a baseline. And I think that's the one thing that the United States does not have. We don't have a baseline. Our baseline is steal, kill,
pillage,
and yeah, right.
and
So
grape.
So why would you disagree with me if I'm wanting that to happen here?
But my thing is we don't have there's no baseline here to be able to establish.
That's what I want to happen here.
So, but my thing to you is, you talk about this melting pot. I don't feel like it's a melting pot in a sense, because even when you get people that come into this country,
Yeah.
they go to their communities.
Yeah, I think what
Right?
you're saying is like your ideal is you're seeking a foundation, but the house is already built, but the house is built with no foundation.
So the reason why I said
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so okay, love that. I'm saying that it's a melting pot because eventually we're gonna have to understand that our melting pot is various different races, creeds, religions, genders, and like even if that person doesn't look like you, we are quote unquote Americans. So we have to think about that American means different things, different people. So that's why I'm saying, like, I get that. It's easy in Europe, it's easy in Japan because they all look like each other.
That's not true.
Okay.
Have you been to Germany?
They all look
Have
like
you been
each
to
other.
England? No, they don't. Have you been to London?
I disagree.
Anti-blackness is crazy out there.
It is. But my thing to you is,
Majority in Germany, and so in Germany, so there's there's more
It's-
black people in Germany than not.
there's not more black people here than there is out there.
Okay, continue.
But
Let me hear your point.
My thing to that is, even when you go to those places, right? You went to
Mm.
Japan, where a lot of people look like you. It's hard to find communities that don't really look like them, the majority,
Mm.
right? That's similar here. We have niches in the United States where you don't see black people, you don't see Asians, you don't see Hispanics, you don't see. Yes, the major cities, the major big cities and stuff across the United States, of course, they're going to be a melting pot of different cultures and customs. But again, it goes back down to, how do we be able to sit down and have a conversation just about culture in general? Like, and to be able to allow us to understand your culture comparative to my culture.
So my point is, it's easier because like the percentage of how each other looks in that realm look similar. Like I can see myself in that person. Like I'm not trying to say there's not diversity in those other places, but it's easier because the majority is a person that's European.
But even with that, I guess similarities in terms of like the physical appearance and stuff. And this is where there is more diversity. There still was more of a baseline in terms of like we're establishing a collective feel for what this national culture looks like within this region, versus here we more or less just like plopped a whole bunch of different communities here, and the relations between these communities were bullshit from the rip. So then now the country's just developed for the last like 300 years, but like these social relations, I mean, shit, 60 years ago, we just...
You ain't lying.
Just would have been able to go to school.
We couldn't have this shit in this room right now.
You ain't lying.
So we got grandparents that are 70s.
No, 1,010%.
So and to continue off that point, right? So it's like that's what I'm saying, right? So when you look at early century China, you look at some of these places, even the structure of the society, right?
Yeah.
That their baseline is something real specific, right? I went to, just to give you an example, right? I went to New Zealand, and being in New Zealand, a lot of people didn't like me. I met an older lady who had never seen a black person before in her life. Like,
You said niggas.
great experience. The baseline culture to them is the same regardless if you look like them or not. They're gonna treat you the same way. Just like in Japan, they're gonna treat you the same way. They're gonna talk to you the same way. They're gonna ask questions that you have to begin to like question, but it's never out of a sense of disrespect. It's more out of curiosity, because here it's more out of disrespect because of what we see on TV.
Yeah.
It's because of the like Tay was saying, like, it's the battle of what's been placed in front of us, the conflicts that was created from the get-go.
Our division is damn near rooted in American culture.
No, absolutely.
So I think we're arguing, in my opinion, two different things. Where like I don't disagree with you guys are talking about, but all I'm saying is I think it's easier to set that culture when majority of the people look the same and you can see yourself in that person. Where like I don't think a person of different nationality and races and genders can see someone in another person, because it's just not. So
I guess I think the only difference between where we're at, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the demographic splits here vastly differ anywhere else in the world?
Yeah, I don't see too many niggas in Japan.
They got whole communities,
I know they have whole communities, but I'm saying like,
just like in China.
But
the culture has already been set. Like I don't disagree with you guys are saying. All I am saying is I think it's easier to set that culture and to have those conversations that you guys are talking about without the other like 12% that doesn't matter.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so like, if you had to like estimate, what would you think the African American percentage is here in the U.S.?
I think without using fact tracking, I think we have like 11%.
11%. All right. If you had to guess, what do you think it is in the UK?
I think a little bit more.
Are you talking to me?
No, man, when that kind of like when that kind of debunk your point, then?
What do you mean?
All right, so because you said you feel like it's easier for them to have that baseline in terms of like, I guess for lack of better words, like nationalism, like culture, because more people look like each other. I feel like they have it more so in the UK than here,
or even Canada.
Well, I'd say Canada's probably a good guess.
Yeah, but those places still have more like equal level of like the demographic split that we have here.
I would say in Canada, I think everything's pretty much like as. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's more like.
Now, part of that might just be due to how young our country is in the grand scheme of things, and we're still very much very close to different forms of like tribalism.
We're literally like 40 years from these events that we're talking about. It's not that long ago. So all I'm saying is, and then we can go commercial break, is I don't disagree with you guys at this point. All I'm just saying is just kind of like that baseline culture, and I'll just even throw in Canada. I feel like at least in Canada, like the melting pot of like multiple different people are gonna look different. Not saying that racism doesn't exist there, like like we've accepted that there's gonna be multiple different people that look different, but you're still Canadian. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I think we're 200 years from what you wishing
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
I'll be gone by then.
I'm gonna be up in the big sky,
Absolutely.
the big blue what thing.
Can I actually
You heard of what?
Go ahead.
That's a Muppet.
You
Show.
said, whoa, hold on. We're not going to. He snuck that one in.
Go ahead.
No, he said that big blue wet thing. You ain't hear that?
That's from Muppets Treasure Island. Go ahead.
So it was
Pause.
It was Muppets.
It's Muppets, not about Pokemon.
No, what are you talking about? You little freak boy.
Oh. Yeah,
This has been the longest. We're just trying to say we're going to commercial break forever.
You know what?
He wanted
I've gotta pull this up.
He
Okay,
wanted
no.
a handle. That's what it was.
No, I don't. Go, Andrew.
just quickly because
Go, Andrew.
you guys did mention the kind of racist history of SNAP benefits being brought up predominantly against or used against African Americans. About 35.4% of SNAP benefits go to whites who are not Hispanic. 25% go towards African American, not
The
Hispanic.
Caucasus Mountain.
15% goes
All right, bro,
towards
hold on.
Hispanic.
Never mind. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like,
It wasn't you. It was
Okay.
the way.
I'm not
The
trying
way
to like.
no, not you. It's the way he said that word.
What did I say?
Put a lot of emphasis on the first part of that word.
What did I say?
I'm not even gonna repeat
What
that.
did I say?
I'm not even gonna repeat that.
I didn't say
I
nothing.
cannot wait to edit this.
the syllable.
I didn't say anything.
What mountain did you say? What mountain did you say?
Mount Hood?
Yeah, you know what he's doing. It's too much tequila.
Mount Hood? All right, y'all.
All right, we'll be
we
right
going
back.
we going commercial break. We got AJ. This is crazy. How did he get here? Woo!
We out the mud. We got.